Yo, it's Monday, so you know what time it is. It's time for another episode of the show that people seem to want to imitate but will never be able to duplicate because we're just that damn good. I got my co-host with the most, Janelle, right beside me, and
Hello.
our two favorite panelists. We got Raw and we got Anthony. And we're
What
gonna have
up?
another good time this week. So, Janelle, Uh, what'd you do this weekend?
Relax. I really don't have anything to report. I chilled this weekend. Went on a couple rants on my Instagram, if you saw, but that's about it. What about you?
I didn't do too much. As you can see, I'm not in the normal man cave today. I'm unfortunately not stateside, but best thing about the man cave is it's wherever you make it. So I packed up the studio and I decided that I wasn't gonna let a week go by, especially on today being the 10th episode we've done. I was not gonna miss it for anything. So clap it up for 10 episodes. Um, it's a big accomplishment. It's a big accomplishment for us. So with that being said, thanks everybody for showing up today. And if you will, drop where y'all are watching from. Cause I was looking at the data last week and it was kind of fun watching where everybody was watching the show from. So if you don't mind commenting where you're watching from, and hey Linda, and hey Jasmine, thanks for coming on the show last week, Jasmine. And hey Erica. So yeah, drop where you're watching from. That would be cool. So today I just want to start the show with a question because I saw a meme about it and I thought it was pretty funny. Howdy from Texas. Hey Pi. Oh, Washington State. Okay, we coast to coast this week. Okay. Um, I saw a post and I thought it was pretty funny just to even contemplate what it would be like. It was about Thanos in the Avengers movie. So if you're familiar with them, so the hypothetical situation was, you're married and Thanos comes and he gets all the, Infinity Gems and he puts them in the gauntlet and he snaps and your husband or wife, your spouse, got dusted like the characters did in Infinity War. So 5 years go by, you marry someone else, you have a kid with that other person, and then the Avengers do what the Avengers do, and they undo the snap, and your prior spouse has now returned from the dust. How would you handle that situation? Would you go back to your old spouse, or would you stay with your new spouse? Just wondering. So Janelle, what would you do?
I would go back to Trevor. You know that. It's Trevor for life. Ain't no question. Sorry, sir. Sorry to this man. I'm going back to Trevor.
But Trevor likes he likes Boston Market. You gonna go back to that?
He's not here to so, but y'all, he does. He says, I texted him literally when you posted it. I was like, "Don't you like Boston Market?" He said some things. I said one thing is enough. Get nasty.
Unique says both of them. He going for both of them. Go ahead, Unique. Take them both.
See,
Ra, who you going with?
I'm gonna go back to my first husband. I feel like whoever is a new person, they should understand if somebody coming back from the dead, that's meant to be, meant to be. So you should just go ahead and let me go and let me enjoy my destiny.
Okay, but what about the kid? Hold on, Erica. You like Boston Market? Ooh, ooh, ain't nothing seasoned in that place. But anyway, what about the kid? What about the kid?
The kid gonna come and Lorenzo would probably be a good additional parent.
Wow, Anthony, my man.
You see my face. You see my face over here already, bro. When I heard this, I thought about. Have y'all ever seen Castaway?
yeah,
With,
Yeah.
okay, with Tom Hanks. So like when he came back, and Shorty he was gone for like 7 years, so that's comparable. And she was ready to walk away too, but he let her stay with.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because she thought he was dead. I think it's different for y'all because y'all are actually married, so y'all really think about y'all actual spouses, which is fair. If my person came back, I don't know, dog.
That's a miracle.
I like the
Yes,
both of them.
sir.
I like the both of them. I did too. I gotta think about it. Come back to me, bro. I need to think about it some more.
See, that almost seems like we're gonna have to have a discussion about polygamy at some point. Then at that point, but
What would you do?
what I do? Oh man,
Yeah.
I feel, especially after having a kid with the new spouse, I'd feel like I almost have an obligation to stay with the new one and allow that old one to find somebody new too, because I did. And I feel like that'd be fair, but a part of me would want the old thing back, like I don't know. I feel like I just break up with both of them and be by myself. So I can do what I want to do
That's a fair solution.
and not be guilty, like, and not feel guilty. That way I don't feel wrong for either one. I just be by myself.
So you're gonna love and lose twice? That don't sound fair to you, bro. You got to be kind to yourself as well. You know.
I ain't say I ain't gonna visit either one of their houses, every now and then. I'm gonna be kind to myself.
See,
I'm
now
gonna
you trying to be in a situation with two of your wives.
I might knock on the door at night, late at night,
That's true.
in the midnight hour, as the old folk used to say. I might,
If you get dusted, does that count as dying?
I might steal away a little bit, slide on down. I ain't got long, but anyway, whatever one grill. For y'all who like Boston Market, y'all gonna have to explain it to me. Their cornbread is apparently fire. I have not seen that or been through that, but anyway, y'all comment what y'all would do if Thanos did that to your loved one, and I'll read them throughout the show. But now we're gonna go turn over to sports with Anthony. What's going on in the world of sports?
Okay, y'all. So we were talking about a lot. There's a lot going on. Obviously, we're in the finals. The Bucks are leading the Phoenix Suns, as Chuck would say, 3-2. They're really on the precipice of winning their first championships. It's like, the early 70s. I think. So first, let me ask y'all: who do y'all have? Who's y'all pick? Are y'all staying with the same person? The same team, or has it changed yet?
I'm still with the Bucks.
I'm still.
You've been with the Bucks the whole time. What made you ride with the Bucks first off?
I just really like Giannis. I like him more than CP3 and Devin Booker. So, but I also don't care about this finals because LeBron. Thank him. That's why I don't care.
Can we let it?
Go ahead, Marcus.
I just feel like I'm happy to see a finals that does not have LeBron in it. I'm happy. It might not be what's best for basketball, because basketball usually does better when your superstars in the finals and when the Lakers or Boston or one of those teams are in the finals. It just does better ratings wise. And they aren't having the best ratings right now because the MLB All-Star game outperformed all the finals games so far. And that's a big thing because MLB, they've been dropping a lot. And now all of a sudden they top in an NBA finals game. It's kind of bad. But at the same time,
who even watches baseball? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
But at the same time, I'm happy to see these young cats get a chance to do something. And I didn't like all of LeBron's complaining that he did about the restart of the season and everything. I didn't like that because it wasn't fair. Some other players going through it too, and I just feel like because you got the biggest platform, you get to say what you think and it's law. Like I didn't like that.
I think LeBron was kind of justified in that, and what he was saying has actually come to fruition because when's the last time we've seen this many injuries? And this is what he was talking about, especially with the Heat and the Lakers, who only had 70-something days to recoup. They had a 70-day off season.
But would he have said it had he?
Look at street clothes over here, who had 8 injuries all year.
He can't be called by regardless if he had the rest or not, though. Had he had the rest or not, he would have been injured. AD can't stay off the bench. He would have been injured regardless. It don't matter how much rest you get that man. If a wind blow the wrong way, he gonna get injured. He's
okay. I would say I think I have. I'm not really sure who I have, to be honest. I'm kind of just letting the best team win. Let me ask y'all this though: if the Bucks do win, do you think Chris Middleton deserves Finals MVP?
No.
Y'all saying no straight up like it's real black and white.
No, I mean his stats are great, and I'm sure you'll get to that. But Giannis going off for 40, that's what gets you there. That's what does it for you.
Did you not see that game?
That's what.
I mean, I go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you good.
I see the games. I just feel like okay. I feel like at this point, I think I can't believe I'm saying this, but Kendrick Perkins was right. Like I feel uh like Chris Middleton is the Batman of that team. Giannis is not Robin, he's Superman, but Chris Middleton is like they're not winning without him. They're not winning without Giannis, but they're definitely not winning without Chris Middleton. And I feel like he's shown himself as like their closer, their guy. Giannis can't really make a free throw for real. So like at the end of the game when it's time to be clutch, that's Chris. That's not really Giannis for real. Stat wise, I feel like, I mean, you can argue numbers regardless, but I feel like MVP is more about a narrative for real. So if I'm putting my money on Chris, even though it's unlikely, I'm putting it on him anyway. But
we will see what happens with that then. All right, what else you got in the world of?
Okay, so watch Space Jam over the weekend. Actually, I just finished it like an hour ago because it was a busy weekend. But I thought it was real precious. I feel like I'm watching because I'm a teacher now, so I think like that. But I feel like super enjoyable. Anybody who said it wasn't good, I want to challenge you to go back and tell me that Michael Jordan is a better actor than LeBron. But go ahead, what y'all think?
He should be a good actor by now with all those flops. Like
wow, okay.
But I think the movie was good for what it was. It was hard for me to watch as an adult, probably because it's made for kids. It's made to be it's Looney Tunes. I mean, it's in the name. It's supposed to be loony. It's supposed to be outrageous. I did like the relatable story for the boy, kind of wanting to forge his own identity outside of a parent's shadow. I felt like that when I was a kid, so I understand that, and I think that was a better story than Michael Jordan's story in his. I did think there was a little bit too much going on in the movie sometimes, but big ups to John Cheadle for being as loony as he was and being kind of believable in the role. But I didn't think it was too bad. What you think, Janelle?
I haven't watched yet. Trevor and I are going to watch with Zaire, but and probably because I am a mom, like I'm really excited for it just because we don't really watch a lot of like the children's shows that are out there right now because I think they're all weird. Like we don't do Coco Melon. I think the humans look crazy in that. Like I'm just happy to have a familiar face. It's a black man, like being just real cool, like cartoons. I'm excited for it. So yeah, but I'll give a review next Monday.
Okay. Rod, did you watch it?
I sure did.
What?
Yeah, Lorenzo put it on, so I lucked out. But yeah, I thought it was cute. I did have to remind myself who the audience was for. Mm-hmm. And I do kind of want to go back and watch the old one, but I do remember being like super into the old one, and I did not experience that super into it feeling with the new one. But it's probably, just because I'm a lot older now.
I mean, I'm about to say, like, the old one came out, I was in first grade.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I remember, you know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, the songs and stuff, the Monstars, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Who made an appearance in the movie.
So, you said what?
They made an appearance in the movie, the little Monstars. They were in the movie.
Yeah. To be honest, I thought it was great. I didn't know what to expect because, I mean, LeBron is obviously not, he's kind of like Beyonce when it comes to acting.
Yeah.
But I mean, once he reminded me of. Did y'all ever watch that show with Rev Run, where he was on a TV show?
It was where he was in the tub giving the advice.
No, not Run's house. It was like it was like a sitcom where he was like, "Oh, hey, why don't we go see what she's?" He felt like,
I know what you're talking
low-key,
about.
like Blue's Clues, type vibes.
I can't remember the name.
Yeah. Once I got over that part, and you know what I'm saying, like the terrible acting on like the basketball court where Bron's like, you got to put in work and stuff. After that, it was cool. I thought the cameos were real cool.
Because the sound in your voice is what attracts kids and keeps their attention, so they have to talk like that.
Yeah.
We got some comments. So, Chris Steele says that Don Cheadle saved the movie. His level of acting is far superior than everybody on, so his scenes kept the storyline together. And then he said, but then again, I wonder if this is how my parents felt when these movies were coming out when he was a kid.
Exactly.
And then Steven says, I like the old one because of the Pump Up the Jam song. So that's
Jam.
yep.
I'm
So
putting that on
I
as soon as
think
we
the
get off this
soundtracks,
live.
the soundtracks
Yeah.
themselves could compete against each other, and I think that
I
would be.
mean, Just Blaze and Kirk Franklin had a jam at the end of the movie. Like that jump was like
Mhm.
tight.
Kirk Franklin, man,
Yeah. So
what a
Dame had a really nice cameo.
Mhm.
Dame's on the way. Uh, y'all might see him in LA pretty soon. Hopefully, God willing.
No, 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 not happening.
I feel like the last thing I guess we could hit on with sports is the Richard Sherman thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let y'all explain it. I know y'all know it better. Janelle, go ahead.
Janelle,
Let us know what's going on with good brother.
Okay, so our wonderful King Richard Sherman, he was driving under the influence and he got into a car accident. He ended up walking away from the accident literally and hitched a ride to his in-laws' house. He was belligerent, he was very drunk, and he tried to break into their house. If you look up the video, he's literally using his body to try to break in. The cops were called. He was charged with 5 misdemeanors. I believe he was released without bond, and he pled not guilty, which I'm really shocked. His wife did come out and make a statement of support. She said specifically, "I love and support my husband. I'm committed to helping Richard get the support and care that he needs. Richard has always been a loving father and husband, and we are looking forward to seeing him at home with his family."
So, we all know Richard Sherman. He's one of the more educated players in the National Football League. He was vice president of the NFL Players Association, I think, at one point. Was at one point a shutdown corner, like undisputed. So a shutdown corner. But in recent years, he's getting older, so his play has gone down a bit. But at the same time, this was very shocking to see, and I saw a lot of different comments out there about it, and a lot of people saying, "Oh yeah, this is the man that's in charge of the players, association." And I feel like people think for some reason when people get money, they're immune to life, like life doesn't hit them, like they can't have mental breakdowns and things like that. So it was sad to see, but what I did love was his wife coming directly to his side, and she didn't wait. Like she came right to him and pumped it up. So I liked that a lot. Janelle, what were your thoughts on it?
Even though I don't watch the NFL, I am a huge fan of Richard Sherman. I think that he is an outstanding example of just a decent human being. And like you said, he's very well educated and things like that. But what was sad for me was around the same time that this video came out, the video of the woman in Victoria's Secret having a full demonic episode came out, and everyone was like joking about that. But y'all get mad at Richard Sherman for having a real life situation.
Facts.
Like seeing someone go through that, that's not that man choosing to go crazy. Something clearly broke him down. Could it have been the alcohol? They said he was going through some personal things ahead of time. It's just for some reason when it's black men, we just can't comprehend that y'all go through it. And I'm not understanding.
So let me go down to our resident mental health,
Oh my
guru.
goodness.
'Cause she's always got a word for it. She's great at it. Rob, what do you see here?
There's definitely a lot to learn from looking at this situation. Obviously, emotional intelligence wasn't operating at its highest. The thing I kind of wanted us to take a look at is that your decision making occurs in the front of your brain, and then your amygdala, which is between the ears, it's linked to like fear and like survival mode. And it's also tied in with your emotions. So when we look at evolution, it was beneficial for, if we saw a lion coming out of the grass, for everything else to go to the wayside, and our brain literally just focus on, get me out of here. I need to survive. So the people who survived were the people who had that impulse to run away, save themselves, or maybe fight, whatever the threat was. But nowadays we have this weird situation where we feel we feel the primal urge related to things that are not actually about survival. So we don't know the details of what upset him on that level on 10. He also was under the influence. But I personally think he was having what they call an amygdala hijack, where he was just like, I need to get in here. I need to. And it was almost like you would have thought somebody was chasing him. You would have thought maybe he's trying to save his family or something like that. But I think that there's a lot to learn. Like Janelle said, this happens to everybody. And you might be, more vulnerable to an amygdala hijack versus, maybe Miss Tabitha Brown. Maybe she's a bit more well-versed in not, letting that part of her brain take over. Or Omarion, he's pretty chill as far as just keeping his composure. But we all go through things, and we all have moments where the situation is a situation, but our brain just makes it way more than it needs to be. So I think, like Janelle said, we don't need to demonize this, but rather look at it and take a moment and say, because honestly, that probably would have went a whole lot differently if that door was open. And that there's power in looking at that, because one, there's power in not engaging with something like that. And if you watch the video, he literally bangs and bangs and bangs, and he's screaming and he's exerting energy the same way. Well, not necessarily the same way, but if there were some sort of like threat chasing him, he will be running away. He will be huffing and puffing. That is dispelling that energy in his body. And if you notice, after he got that energy off, he walked off. Mm-hmm. So what we can learn is kind of to get ahead of it. I know it sounds really like over the top and silly, but taking deep breaths, if you count, if you focus on the breath, when I was talking about the amygdala, it shifts back to that logical, part of your brain, and just shifting that focus back to the logic part is going to automatically calm you down. Even if you count into 10, like it can be so simple. And it's some real, I would say, really badass people who do these techniques, like the Navy SEALs, before they like bust down somebody's door, they're employing these types of strategies to keep their composure as they go through this chaotic and, somewhat traumatic, it would be traumatic to me, situation. So I just think we shouldn't demonize him. We should definitely love on him and support him. I saw his statement, which stated that he was getting help, which I think is amazing, because these things do happen. And if they haven't happened to you yet, as the old folks say, just keep on living.
Mm. And with that, I'm gonna pass.
You sound like my grandma, girl.
I'm gonna pass the offering basket over to Anthony. What you? How you feel about it, man?
Man, I feel like shit. I agree with like everything that Ross said, and also like, I mean, obviously she's right. You know what I mean? Like the prefrontal, I think it's called cortex.
Yeah.
Maybe, like controls, our logic and like our consequence, risk reward stuff, and then the amygdala is like emotional pleasure receptor. So I get that. I just wonder, like, okay, like what was like leading up that caused it? Like, has this happened before? Like, did he notice about himself already? And like, do y'all think like, well, I guess he's taking personal accountability by getting help, but I don't understand the pleading not guilty though. Or is pleading not guilty also pleading insanity? Like, is there a difference between those two?
That's a good
pleading
question.
not guilty by reason of insanity is a way of pleading not guilty.
And you also have to look at the charges, right? Because I think when we say not guilty, we automatically are like, you think you didn't do anything wrong. But I don't know the specific charges that he's saying, hey, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
But the charge, I mean, some of the misdemeanors were like DUI, which he was driving drunk, right?
Yes.
Like
the charges were very light for burglary, trying to break and enter. Like, you did that.
Yeah.
Sir.
But I mean, you got to think he's a public figure, so he's going to try to save face.
But I am really shocked that he's pleading guilty.
I think it's unfortunate. I hate like I say all the time. I hate it had to be him, and I do hope that he gets help. But I mean, shit. Like I guess he is fortunate that he's in a position where he has the resources to get help and not just be like a regular person that would. Because if I'm doing that, you know what I'm saying, or one of y'all, we probably wouldn't be able to walk away from that incident like that.
True.
But
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So
the more we learn about it, the better. I guess we are.
Definitely. So, all right. Let's get to our meat and potatoes tonight, because this is a topic that I've been thinking about for a few weeks now, and Janelle knows I've been thinking about it since maybe like show number 2, and so it's been something that's been ping ponging back and forth in my mind, and I think why not do it for the 10th episode? Why not talk about it? So Janelle, take us away. Give us that food today.
So we are talking about toxic relationships today, and this could be a friendship, this could be a situationship, this could be a marriage, this could be a boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever it is. And especially with the focus, of course, with how these relationships, how they're handled and how they happen within the Black community, because I just am so tired of seeing us hate on one another. And I'm not trying to say like other races don't do it, but I can't speak for them. I can only speak for us. And I figured I'd just open it with my own personal story. I actually had to end the relationship with my best friend since preschool a couple years ago. And it was the hardest decision of my life, one of them. Because I didn't realize the friendship was toxic until some things were put in front of me. For example, my best friend was getting married, and at the time I was pregnant with Zaire. I was a very, very high risk pregnancy. I was put on bed rest at 3 months, and I stayed on bed rest throughout the whole pregnancy. I had surgery during my pregnancy. Trevor had to give me shots to make sure he did not come out early. So it was very crazy, but I was still dedicated to being in her wedding. Towards the end, towards the time of her wedding, like coming about, I was told by my doctor, you can't travel. You're not allowed to go anywhere. I really shouldn't have been driving, but I told my best friend. She was not happy about that. She just was unable to understand at the time that I was clearly housing a child and like I couldn't go anywhere. Granted, I'd already bought a dress. I paid all this money to do X, Y, Z. Like I paid extra money for her bachelorette to make things work. But yeah, we just stopped talking. And then the year of the pandemic was the last time I talked to her because I really wanted to make things work because that's how I am. I'm the person in the friendship that will try my best to make things work, even though I know the relationship isn't honoring me or that person. So I called her and I remember it vividly. I went to my mother's room, it was very quiet, it was dark that day. And I just was telling her like, I miss you, I love you, let's just talk about what happened. And it was just like, you weren't there for me for my wedding. You didn't tell me this and you didn't do that and you didn't do this. And I apologized to her. I felt like it was my fault. And we said, well, we're going to try to like work this out, even though in the back of my mind, I knew this is the last time I'm ever going to speak to her ever again. And it was. And for so long, I blamed myself. But then I got into therapy and realized, no, this was just a toxic relationship. Any person that can look you in the face and tell you that you should have showed up to their wedding when you're pregnant, something ain't right. Mm-hmm. Something's not right. So we just need to talk about the lack of support that we give one another, and how we say like, I'm your friend, but can we talk to each other about real things? Like, can I tell you I don't like something without you tripping and, making me feel bad? So like, Ralisha, have you ever been in a situation where you had to either let someone go or recognize this ain't healthy?
Well, I don't want to kill everybody's mood, but I'll just say without getting into it too deep, I have a toxic relationship with my mother. So yeah. Long story short, there's some people in her life who, for various reasons, I just do not mess with. And I came to her and I said, hey, can we just focus on our relationship as mother and daughter? I flew out there to like have lunch with her to try to like mend things and just focus on us. And as time went along, she just kept not respecting that one boundary. And I had to accept that, that person in her life was more important to her. And I too went to therapy because that's pretty jarring as a daughter to hear like, this person is more important to you than your actual child. But I just kind of had to realize that for whatever reason, whatever she has been through in her life, that's where she's at. And for example, if she lost her vision, I wouldn't keep saying, "Why can't you see me?" I would accept that she just can't see right now for whatever reason, and nothing I did. I didn't make her go blind, So that's just who and what she is right now, and I have to worry about me. And we're having a baby. I got to worry about our baby now, my family, my husband. So that is the toxic relationship in my life. I promise y'all I'm okay. Like I've gone to therapy about it and really, really talked through it. But yeah, it's tough sometimes.
Okay, it's hard when it's a parent. It's hard when it's your parent. There are things that my mother and I we're working through right now. And at first, like, I think she can attest to it too, it was very hard. I felt very disconnected from my family for so long because I chose to go to school and I did not go back to Ohio or like come to North Carolina for way later. And I just felt my family didn't know me. Like, oh, and I also feel like they didn't really at the time want to get to know me, but that's a whole different level. Yours is a whole different level. And I salute you because you're the bomb.
Thank you.
So,
but Anthony, go ahead, Marcus.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask Anthony the same question. Like, have you been in a toxic relationship and how did you handle it?
He like, which one?
y'all just hit me with some heavy stuff, man. I can't. Okay, first I have some questions for her. Can I ask y'all some questions though?
Sure.
Okay, all right. So Janelle, like, what's your homegirl? Did she knew you? Well, she knew you were pregnant. Did she know you were having like issues and stuff?
Yeah, and I have no problem talking about it. So y'all know that I had lost a child before.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I didn't know that.
Well, I was pregnant the year before, and I gave birth early at 20 weeks, and the baby didn't make it. She knew very intimately, like, what was.
She knew all that.
Yes. And after, how, like, you get into it with someone, and after that, you think of the things you could have said. I could have said, girl, where was you at when I lost my child? You didn't show up for me, and you were living 20 minutes away.
Ooh.
Oh.
But I don't think to do those things. And sometimes I feel like I do need to hold people accountable more. But at the same time, it's like, why do I have to explain this to you? Like, what is it to where if you're saying that you're my friend or you're my best friend in this instance, how can you not comprehend that you getting married is clearly not as important as me taking care of my body and my child?
Yeah.
So, yeah, she knew.
Man, that's just, to me, that's just like, I don't know. I just think if I can't imagine myself like being like, hey, look, risk your life real quick and come to this wedding real fast for me, you know what I'm saying?
That's basically what
you're saying. I'm trying to understand like what could have been going through her mind with like maybe like the way I think is like a teacher. So like if I tell somebody, oh, do this or don't do this, or be like, all right, y'all, we about to do this, and they just don't do it, I'm like, so did you hear me? Like I'm like thinking about like the reasons like why are you doing this the opposite basically of what I'm asking you to do? You know what I'm saying? So like when someone is just acting ridiculous, I'm like, what could it be? It has to be some type of reason because it's hard for me to think, damn, you just that selfish where you just don't give a fuck. You just like, yeah, that's how I'm rocking right now, and you need to get your ass up here.
And I guess I understood why she was hurt. Like she was at my wedding, she was right next to me, but at the same time, she wasn't pregnant. She also didn't have to pay a dime to be at my wedding. She didn't pay for anything. Like she just had to show up and be there.
Where did you get married?
Jasmine says that, and I still don't like her, Janelle.
And I still don't like. I'm gonna add the snaps for you, Jasmine. And I still don't like her. I can't.
You know what's wild? what's wild is first of all, I will say, like, if she ever listens to this, which I highly doubt, I will always love her. Like, her name, I don't even want to say her name just because I want to be respectful, but her name rhymes with mine. Like, we went to the same preschool, we went to the same middle school, the same high school. Like, then she moved to Virginia, not too far from me, because she got a job, and we were just extremely close. And then when life starts changing, I got married first, I got pregnant first, and my time wasn't for her as much as it used to be. So I think that Chanel, that was the name.
It wasn't that many. It wasn't that many names we could have chose from. I was like, well,
But the thing is that, like, to this day, there are days that I want to just call her and tell her something. Like, I still know her number by heart. Like, there are moments.
Here's my question. Here's my question then. What's stopping you? What's stopping you from wanting to mend that relationship? Or do you think it's mendable? Or do you think it's just something you need to let go?
I've had to learn that everything has a season. And
Lord, like red table talk.
When I stepped out on a limb to call her, because when I called her, I was in the midst of postpartum and we were in the pandemic, and I was really missing her. And I felt that I had enough time away from her that we could talk. Like, we both had time to, like, breathe. We're in completely different states. And when I realized it was literally, like, still just, okay, I'm just going to dump all this on you. It's all your fault. Like, you didn't do this. You didn't do that. I was like, I'm good. I'm good. Like, I tried. If the chance to do it again arises, like, if I bumped into her, sure, I would sit down and talk to her. And if she wanted to, but at the same time, I ain't got to sit up here and make you be right. Be my friend. Like, I don't have to. So, yeah, it was a very, very hard decision, though. It was very hard.
Oh, go ahead, Anthony. You weren't done. Go ahead.
No. I'm just reacting. I'm just like, you know.
Well, I was gonna say, regarding when you say you try to ask yourself, like, what could it be? I did that a lot, and it's very draining, and it's a waste of energy. Eventually, you eventually realize, like, I had a relative tell me, you know, your mom was a person too who was just living her life, and stuff happened to her, and, you know, I don't know what it is, but I don't got the energy to be trying to figure out what's going on with other people. I'm trying to be happy. I'm trying to be healthy. And if you don't align with that, I'm just gonna keep it pushing.
And that's, so mine's kind of like yours, Rod. Like, mine's with my mother. Like, just never had a real relationship since I was little. Like, from verbal to physical, like, abuse. It's just never been good for me. And I realized it took me till I was like maybe like 26 to just say, you know what, you be you. Because there's nothing that I'm going to do that's going to change you. And what I realized was, by me trying to hold on to this notion that I can somehow gain this love and approval and this, you know, affection from you, what I learned was I was letting other parts of my life suffer, trying to get that one thing. That at this point in my life, I don't need to go further, but I needed to heal from it. So with going through counseling and everything, I thought, like, you know, it was hatred, but it was really just hurt. Like, hurt that I didn't have those things. But at the same time, I realized that hurt from how this woman affected me was hurting my relationships with other women in my life. Because I started to assume that all women were going to hurt me in the same way. Like, oh, I never had that nurturing, so it was hard for me to believe that a woman could be nurturing and could be, you know, and could be genuine in that nurture and not want something from it. Like, let me tell y'all a funny story, because it's kind of messed up, but like, this is how bad it was. Like, so, you know how they mail those little, like, McDonald's coupons and Burger King coupons to your house and stuff? You know, it'd be like, buy one Whopper, get another Whopper free, whatever. So I remember I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something nice for her so that she'll have no choice but to, you know, rethink how she feels about me. So that's when I just learned how to drive and everything. And I said, hey, Mom, look, they sent these coupons to the house. I just want the Whopper sandwich, but it's if you buy a whole meal, you get another Whopper free. So I'll just eat the free Whopper and you can get a whole meal. And she was like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do that. And so she was like, but I want a milkshake for my drink. So that was going to cost me extra money. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. drove all the way to Burger King. I come all the way back home. And I put the food on the table. I'm like, Mom, the food's here, you know. I was excited. I was like, she's gonna see this, she's gonna love me. I get back to my wrapper. My wrapper is open. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I was like, this is weird. I opened the joint up. No, like my burger is gone, my patty is gone, the cheese is gone, the lettuce is gone, tomatoes gone, everything's gone. She had taken my patty and put it onto her Whopper and made herself a double Whopper. And was like, oh, I wanted a double Whopper. And then she was like, but you can get one of those frozen patties out the freezer and make yourself a burger and put it on that bun. Yo, when I'm talking about, I felt like the lowest, like the dumbest person on the face of this planet. Like, I was looking over like one of my siblings when it happened, and he was just looking at me like he couldn't believe it. And it's like, that's what I had to like go through, like stuff like that. So, like, people don't realize, like, family, like, saying, oh, that's your family, you gotta love them. Yeah, I gotta love you because God says I had to love you, but I don't have to mess with you no more. Like, I can leave you behind. Like, I can leave you behind. Like, I pray for it. Like, I don't want people to get the wrong idea. I pray for my mother constantly. I hope that she's well. But the funny thing about time is it doesn't stop. And you get older as I get older. And you're going to need me before it's over. And it's unfortunate that's probably going to be your come to Jesus moment. But I don't have to deal with it anymore. I'm grown. And I can let that stuff go. Anthony, what you never said if you had any specific toxic relationship.
Because every time y'all ask me, like, y'all doing, I'm like, God damn, bro. First of all, let me just say, look, thank y'all for sharing these things with us and, you know, and the audience that's watching live. It takes a lot of strength to be that vulnerable, you know, so, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure other people are dealing with the same things that y'all are dealing with. So, you know, I'm sure it's helpful for them to, you know, inspiring for them to hear other people going through it and how they've dealt with it. I think for myself, shit, man, I just probably just have a shorter fuse with people than most people. So a lot of times I just don't even get to that point. Like, I feel like when you, okay, like me and my dad and I are super tight. One time I was on a little PB basketball team. So he didn't pick me up for like a game, and I missed the game. And I was like waiting for him. I really thought he was gonna pick me up. He didn't pick me up. It's not like super sad. It's whatever. But it's like, I feel like at that point I was like, okay, so some people just trash. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, so you just got, you just got, if people, from that moment, I was like, all right, if people show you who they are, you got to believe them, bro, and just put them where they're supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be, but put them in a place in your life where, you know what I'm saying, trust the people who you can trust and just move like that. So honestly, that's been my whole policy, like, the whole time.
The good thing about that is that it seems like from an early age you were able to internalize that, like, okay, that's them. That ain't got nothing to do with me. And I'm going to keep, progressing and growing and doing my thing. A lot of people struggle with trying to figure out, what did I do? What can I do to earn it? What can I do to be worth it? Yes. And it's a lot of therapy that goes into trying to unwork that.
Yeah. And I think it's not even about just like physical or just the outright, verbal, stuff. It's the little slick stuff, the little slick comments. Like even when I was trying to start this podcast, get this off the ground, it was just stupid little comments like, oh, what you think that's really going to get big? Like, so what if it don't? Like, what? Like, if you were trying to, start a venture, like, I'd support you. Like, I'd say, hey, let's see what's going to happen with it. Let's see where it's go. Like, why is your first, like, I started cutting friends off when their first comments were always negative. Like, whenever I was trying to do something, it was always a negative comment. Oh, you only going to do this? Like, oh, you really think somebody going to come on the show? Like, so what? What if
they come.
And I want to, and week 10 and they still coming. So I guess they liking something they see. So maybe you should reformulate yours. I mean, I'm just saying that friends should, if they're really your friends, there's a way that you can go about criticizing your friends. Like we all know, like, hey homie, that might not be the best move. This is why. Not just outright, this ain't gonna work. Like, so I cut people off for that now. Like if you overly negative all the time, like I don't have space for that in my life. Like at this point. Janelle. So you said you wouldn't take this individual, like you wouldn't take them back as a friend, or would you somebody died somewhere just now. But you wouldn't take them back. No, somebody was just coughing hard right now. But
oh Lord, they got that bed.
But no,
That's not funny.
No. You said you would. So if she called you right now and she said, like, Janelle, I'm sorry for everything I did. Like, can we, work this out? Can we maybe if we don't get back to where we were, but can we get back to something similar to what we had? What would be your answer?
I think in that instance, yes, because it's not like anything like extremely terrible happened. She just felt like I didn't show up for her, and I don't think she showed up for me. So I think that that's a situation that, yes, could possibly be mended in the near future. Would I take the first step to do that? No. But I've also had situations where, like, you have no business being in my space whatsoever. And shame on me for allowing you the privilege of being in my presence. And I think it's so hard because when I call you my friend, like, I love you. When I say that you are my friend, like, I take friendship very seriously. So if you're gonna try to play me in any type of way, if you're gonna be slick, if you're going to, like, be a snake in any type of way, like, I am all about protecting my peace because I did it for so long. I didn't have, like, what Anthony has. Like, I kind of envied that. Growing up, I was always like, I'm sorry, don't be my friend. Like, I'm sorry. Like, what did I do? And for so long, I'm thinking that I'm doing things wrong, which, yes, in some situations, I did do things wrong. But there are also times where, like, I don't have to take none of that from anyone.
Let me read these comments real quick because Unique said something that I really like. And Unique, we're going to see you on August the 2nd because you're going to be the co-host on the 2nd. So I'm really excited about that. He said that, I guess he was commenting to what I was saying. He said people projecting their fears onto you. And that is huge. People, when they see you succeeding and they see you starting to get, ahead, they start putting their own little fears on you because they wish they could be doing what you're doing. And sometimes it's because they didn't listen to you in the first place and you could have joined in on it with them. But so, I think that, sometimes it's jealousy at the end of the day. And you should have definitely cut those people out. And then Christian says that I feel like people forget that friendships are a relationship too. And yes. And they need to be nurtured and everything. Like they need to be, you can't just, I feel like being a friend, you got to keep that up. Like if I say I'm your friend, you can't just say it in word. Like sometimes you got to hit the person up, go out, hang out. Like I think those things are necessary in friendships. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, Rod. You think those things are necessary to be in a friendship, or can you just say?
For sure. I think you need healthy boundaries. And what you asked Janelle about, like kind of re-coming together, Unique said something very, very powerful. He said, you can miss something, but not want it back or understand it no longer serves you. I think there's that. And I also believe in accountability. If you are not going to acknowledge what happened, where things went wrong, maybe how you've grown since then, what I'm doing, letting you back in my life, you're just going to do the same thing in a different version. Like I'm the type of person, if I'm wrong, I want to come to whoever and say, hey, I'm sorry. My head was here. I completely missed this. I value you. I want to make sure you know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't willing to do all that, some people might call that kissing behind or whatever. Nah, that's clearing the air and making sure that we know, hey, moving forward, we're good. And if we face another challenge, it's going to be something else. It ain't going to be the same thing. So
what is it?
If they're not willing to do that, they're no longer going to serve me, and I'm a chuck of deuces.
It's been real.
fooled me one time. But so Anthony, do you easily forgive people? Like,
Like, easily. Why you laughing? Right?
Because I feel like the answer
You like,
is
nah,
no.
he got
okay,
one chance.
hold on. I'm gonna
No.
give you. All right, Anthony. Let me give you some time to think. I'll read this comment, then I'll let you respond. Hold on. Christian says that friends are the family you choose, and the same standards I hold my family to, I hold my friends to. Also, I like that. Because
Alright.
Lord knows I
Nah,
got friends
I definitely agree with that.
that stick closer than some family. Like, really do. So Anthony, now I'm coming to you. You had a few seconds.
Yeah.
Do you easily forgive people who like transgress against you, Anthony? Like,
All right, this is my thing. I don't get mad easily,
Yeah.
but
when you are,
if I get upset, I feel like if I get upset, like, oh, Kobe, my bad, y'all. I'm in here with my boy.
he part of the
he trying to
cast.
keep
It's
us
good.
safe. But y'all know Kobe stopped somebody from breaking in my house before, yo. Like he a real guard dog for real.
He's a real friend, not
he's
toxic
real.
at all.
Yeah, but anyway, all right. So okay, I feel like I don't get mad super fast, especially like now. Like if somebody does something they kind of like piss me off, I would like communicate first, be like, hey, like, can we do X, Y, Z instead of doing ABC? I try, not perfect, but I try to give them like an opportunity to like, come to some middle ground. If we can't do that, and I feel like you're disrespecting me, that's what really just irks me like real bad. I feel like that's one of my like core values. So like if you are like disrespecting me, then nah, I can't. Like if somebody steals something from me and it's not like a child, no, I can't fuck with you no more. Because it's like, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? Especially because anybody that know me, people come to me and ask for shit all the time because I will usually give it to them if they ask me for it. So I would say some things you just like I can forgive you, but I can't have you with me no more. You can't be in my life anymore. So I feel like it's
That's
like
real.
some lines that we just can't cross. And if you do that, then
That's real.
you know what I'm saying? I'm not out here, hoping bad for you, but I'm just not.
And
I ain't got nothing for you. I don't have nothing against you.
I think that's important that people need to hear that again. Like, just because I forgive you does not mean I have to mess with you no more. Like, people think forgiveness means I'm supposed to toss that out to the side. Like, if someone steals from me, like in the family, I'm like, I might say, yeah, I forgive you, but I'll never leave my wallet anywhere near you again. Like, I'll never let you have like be anywhere near my finances ever again. Like, so I feel like people think that forgiveness means you got to let it all go, and I like only God does that. and he's still working on me. Like you mess up with me, you just messed up. Like
to me, like I know this is kind of silly, but okay, when KD and Draymond had their blow up.
Oh my God.
No, because
Really?
that's real. Because
Go
ahead.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Like in front of like, and it's like okay, bro, you asked me to join this team, then you gonna tell me we won 73 games without you. We were a dynasty before you showed up. You a bitch. You said that to his face. Like that's like, bro, we can't come back from that. You called me that to my face? That's just so disrespectful. Like,
but I mean, was he not right?
I mean, yeah.
Right, but you don't have to be.
No,
you didn't have to be rude about it.
He was right about saying, okay, we were a championship team before you joined us. You joined us, but it's like, okay, this is my thing. If you go out with somebody, I'm a man, so I'm gonna use a woman. If I go out with a woman and we have sex, I'm not gonna call her a hoe because I wanted to have sex.
Yeah.
If I invite you to join my team, how am I gonna call you a bitch after you join my team and I invited you to join the team?
Erica says there are a couple of lines that if crossed, there is no coming back. But what I found is that most friends need to be repositioned either for a period or indefinitely. So, Erica, what lines, if you don't mind sharing, like what is one of those lines that if someone crosses that you can't come back from? And Ra, what is the line that you have that if you cross it, you can't come back from?
Well, with me and Erica, I'm gonna just say dial soap.
Oh, this must be an inside joke.
That means.
Hold on, wait.
So Erica, I ain't gonna tell her story, but Erica was my college roommate. So we
Hey,
have
Erica.
a lot of good times.
Where'd y'all go to
looking
college?
back. We went to SIUE. It's a little college in Edwardsville, Illinois.
Oh yeah, you from around where I'm living now. That's right.
Yeah. But for me, boundaries is the thing. I've talked about it before, but everybody has different needs as far as what their boundaries need to be. Some people, something that might send me crazy, they don't care about. But if I communicate to you, hey, this really upsets me, this bothers me, can you please not do it? And then you continue to do it. Okay. And also, Anthony mentioned something that just kind of stuck out to me. You mentioned a very blatant act, and we've been discussing very blatant acts, but with some people, their stuff is real like low key, and you kind of won't peep it until it's been going on for a long, long while. So for me, whatever boundaries I set, if you can't honor them, then I just don't need to have you in my space.
I don't like people who be tripping over them boundaries, knowing that they there and pretending like they didn't. Like, you ever had somebody who just acts oblivious to, oh, I didn't know that was gonna hurt your feelings. Like, yes, you did. Those are the type of people you got to cut immediately. Or people who like Boston Market. I feel like they should be cut. They should be cut immediately. Immediately.
Hey, let me ask you this real quick though. If you had to choose, would you eat Panera Bread or Boston Market?
Panera.
Y'all like Panera Bread?
Anthony, just stop.
Anthony, you've been saying so. Hold on. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut and edit the last few episodes, because Anthony be saying some wild stuff that you be getting away with on this show. The Jacquees Michael Jackson thing.
You don't like Beyonce, and you talk about me.
I didn't say I didn't like Beyonce. That's what the problem with the Beehive is. I never said I did not like her. I said I just wasn't a big fan.
You said she alright. That's disrespectful, bro.
That is disrespectful.
You said Jacquees was in the same category as Michael Jackson.
Let me,
you can't say nothing.
Let's go back. I said the tone of Jacquees' voice was better than the tone of adult Michael Jackson, and I will say that.
So
anytime,
everybody keeps saying wild stuff. Janelle keep talking about people unattractive and attractive, and when nobody knows what the standard is.
I haven't said nothing about nobody being unattractive. I almost said Chris Middleton was really ugly, but I kept my mouth shut.
Ooh.
He scares me. And the other guy, what's his face with the eyes? I'm pretty sure he's a murderer.
Oh, Portis. Portis.
He's a murderer. Sorry, we not go there. Sorry.
Jasmine says, "Oh Lord, not this again." He ain't gonna change his mind. He not. I ain't gonna say no names, but somebody disrespected Lil Wayne. Ooh.
Oh.
See, that's what happens when you have repeat viewers who come on the show and hold us accountable.
I do not like Lil Wayne. Period. Exclamation point. Write it down. Make a shirt. I'll tell him to his old rusty face.
Unique, you'll be on the show in a second, and you can debate that with her personally.
Can I just say something about Lil Wayne real quick though?
Yes.
Look, let me say this. There is not enjoying something, and then there's something being objectively bad. And I'll say this. Look, you don't want to give Lil Wayne his flowers. It's whatever. Would I want to hang out with Lil Wayne? No, I don't want to hang out with him. I know. Matter of fact, one of my friends, she had a friend. She had a little encounter with Lil Wayne. He gave her an STD. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? He's not a great person, but when it comes to rapping, though,
no, okay. To be honest, I would never say he's not a good rapper. I just don't. It's not for me. I would never, because clearly he has a lot of money, but it's just not for me. There's just a few songs I'm like, okay, I like it. I like him as a feature, but by himself, it just wasn't my jam at the time. I just couldn't get into it. I tried because I love music. I feel like everyone is creative in their own way. But can we go back to toxic relationships? Because y'all opened a memory in my mind that I actually shut out. It's about to get real deep.
Hold on.
So the most you had asked me if there was ever a relationship that I wouldn't repair. I don't really talk about this that often. I don't really talk about it at all. And my mom's probably going to yell at me later, but that's fine. I had a friendship with someone, and the last time I saw her, we Like, we're just talking. It was like me and a few other girls, and we were just like talking, having girl time, having girl talk. And then maybe not too long later, I get married, and I start getting these messages that Trevor's cheating on me. And like,
Oh my God, we talking about this one?
yeah, we're talking about it.
Oh.
I started getting these messages that Trevor's cheating on me, and we were freshly married. Literally, it had been maybe a month. So I'm like, sir, what's in my phone? What's going on here? You have some explaining to do.
No, my boy.
And my husband is really bad at lying. Like, he really can't do it. And he looked me in my face and said, Janelle, I'm not cheating on you. And we tried to like figure out where this number was coming from. And that turned into 3 years of receiving messages that Trevor's either cheating on me, and it evolved into me being threatened that with my first child, that child was going to die. So for years, y'all, years. And I didn't know for a fact that the person that was doing this, I didn't know for a fact it was them, but I had a feeling just because our friendship started in college at Howard and we were very cool. And then some things happened where like she didn't really mess with me and I didn't mess with her. But towards the end, once we graduated, we became cool again. Like, we were friends. I confided in her. She confided in me. She had went through some things that I lended out a helping hand to her. But it turned into, I'm about to get real because this is a real conversation. And I think that it's important to talk about these things because trauma is real. It turned into me going to work with pictures of like dead, bloody babies being texted to me. And this was going on for years. I went to the police. I hired an IT person to try to figure out where this was coming from. And then finally one day, I proved that it was said person. And she resorted to calling my parents. She resorted to contacting my husband. It was wild. And to this day, I do not know why. It stopped once I finally had Zaire. Once I finally proved that I was able to give birth, I guess she didn't have anything to say to me anymore. But there are lines. There are lines where people go way too far and there is no turning back. I have not forgiven her because I don't want to yet, to be completely honest. I have not gotten to the point where I could sit here and say, I forgive you, because people go so far, they don't even give you the space to comprehend forgiveness. Like, I think that people just go beyond crossing lines, and you have to be like, no, I'm not going to give you the option to come back. I'm not going to give you the option to be even near my environment. So I was just thinking about what Unique was saying as far as relationship and the lines and things like that. It just, I honestly forgot all about it.
Okay. When you told me that story, I remember when you told me that story because we were at a certain, I shouldn't say where we were, but you remember that day. That was a long day.
The viewers
say,
Go ahead.
So I got some comments I was gonna read. Erica, I think she was responding to Anthony. I wanted her to elaborate a little bit. She also said Panera instead of whatever that place you were talking about. And she said, by reposition, it's someone that is really close to me and I talk to often, but they are really negative. We just aren't gonna get along. I need to talk to them less. And then
She is my friend.
yeah, Jasmine said, yikes. And then Jasmine clutched her pearls. And then Erica agreed that this is an example of something you can't come back from.
Ever.
And then Christian said, it sounds like she secretly loved you.
Oh no, it was definitely an obsession, because this person was creating new numbers all the time because I would block. I got new numbers and they would go to like certain friends and be like, what's Janelle's number, so they could get it. Like, it was wild, the lengths that they would go to really just make sure I was,
And were you this person's friend during this time? Were you her friend during this time? Like, did you think y'all were friends during this time?
We were. I swore that we were friends. I swore, but clearly, shame on me for thinking that we were. I thought we were.
God don't like
This is
ugly.
like this is like Gossip Girl. I mean, not like a scary movie. Like I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like that's like
It would get
if you
I would be scared to look at my phone if it
yeah.
like I would be
That's
terrified because not only am I experiencing trauma, you're like fueling the trauma by making fun of it.
Yeah.
And it was going on for years. Yo, I went to the cops like 4 times and they told me there's nothing we can do.
Oh, Rob,
Nothing.
damn, the police
Rob,
are
where do you
useless.
think?
Damn.
Rob, where do you think that kind of behavior comes from? Like, what would drive a woman who arguably will at some point, maybe if God willing, go through the same things that Janelle has had to go through by bringing a life into this world if they so choose. Why would someone want to even do something like that? Like
Obsession, envy. I talk about it all the time, but people would rather waste a bunch of energy focused on other people and what other people have got going on. That person could have used that time to, I don't know, maybe meet somebody and cultivate a relationship and then, maybe work on having, if that's what they wanted. But just not being healthy and happy within themselves, and they see somebody else who's getting it, who's looking and appearing happy and healthy, and they're like, I can't stomach that. If I'm gonna be miserable, you are too.
Yeah.
I see my cousin is in here. Hey Ray, and she says it's narcissistic obsession, and I agree wholeheartedly. Anthony, is that
I'm just over.
a
I'm just
roll
over
up
here.
moment, man? Is that a roll up instantly? If you had found out at the time when she found out who it was, is that an instant roll up for you?
Like roll up to the person's house.
Yes.
Honestly, yeah, man. Sometimes you just gotta choose violence.
I don't think you understand.
Yeah. Your cousin raised her hand like, yeah, that's me. Yeah, I'm pulling up.
That's her.
Yeah. Wow, man. I mean, all I can say is I'm sorry you had to go through that, but yeah. I think
Unique said, "Nah, run me my fate." Yeah.
But the thing is that
yeah, we going low for that one. We going to hell. Not to hell, but
that
close to it.
me being who I am, this kind of goes back to Richard Sherman, and that's why I was so able to really empathize with him. I myself struggle with anger. And I know like I rant and stuff, but like personally, I struggle with when I get angry, it is very hard to calm me down. And sometimes I go too far. So I knew that if I ever saw her, even to this day, if she's in front of me and I've clearly, like I've moved on from it, I am working through it through therapy because I mean, it's traumatic, but I can't say that I would be rational just because.
Who could expect you to be?
There's nothing rational about their actions. Like I would expect you to respond in kind.
If we ended up going at it, I don't know if I would stop. I don't know if I would be able to stop.
We
Like
wouldn't
I
let you go
might
to
possibly end this person's life.
I wouldn't let you do that.
Amygdala hijack.
You gonna be there?
She said,
She said
Richard.
Because one time I went
I
after
was going to say Richard Jefferson.
No, Richard Jefferson.
That's my boy too.
But no, that like when you told me that, I was like, that's the most ridiculous. Like, and once finding out the person behind it, it was just like, I can't believe I had conversations with this individual. Like it made me rethink everything. Like you never know who people really are, and that's crazy. Like you just never know who people really are.
But what's sad is I'm not even mad at her no more. I feel bad. I feel bad that someone has to carry such hate for so long to sit there and waste the time that has been given to you to try to torture someone. Like you have to carry some serious, serious hate, evil negativity inside you to sit there every day and reach out to me, my husband, my family. Like I had to learn like there's something going on with said person that I will never ever understand. I don't need to understand.
Right? It's not your burden to carry.
It's not.
Erica said post the pic, and she said LOL, just kidding. But yeah, man, like that's and that's where I had gotten to with my mom. It was like you really gotta have like there really had to have something bad had to happen in your life for you to be this spiteful and hateful. And I feel bad for you. Like I'm no longer upset and angry at you. I just feel bad for you that this is how you're living your life, especially in your later years. This is how you're choosing to live instead of like embracing like your family and the things that are going on. Instead, you're just like bound up by all that hate. Like it's terrible. Um, Anthony, I'm gonna ask you if this will cross your line. Um, Janelle walks up to you and she was like, "Your beard is trash."
Oh my god.
Is
If it was
there
a birthday, I would probably
is there some? Can you come back from that? Can you come back from like in a public setting, like all your homeboys around, and she's walking like Anthony, your beard is trash. Like, ugh. Do something about
Okay, so I'm the little brother. I'm the youngest of two other people. I have an older brother, older sister. So my sister was mean as shit when we were little. Like, I mean, she was like Angelica, and I was like Tommy Pickles.
that.
That's
So my sister like tried to make me and my younger cousins like eat dirt before that. Like my sister was like, "Wow, Joe, she was just a wild little girl when we were when we were younger."
That's crazy.
But anyway, yeah, no, I mean, if somebody came up to me talking about my beard is trash, first of all, look, I love me some me. Y'all know that. I'm like a very like confident person. Maybe sometimes too confident. But
Shirt be off
if
all the
somebody
time
said
and stuff.
if somebody said my beard was trash, I'd just laugh. I'd be like, all right, shit. Give me some fillings. Hook me up with LeBron so I can give me some Beijing real quick.
That's that's some light skin stuff right there.
Hey, man.
Speaking of that, and this kind of goes into toxicity. Jasmine last week before the show ended talked about this video that was circulating with these guys judging these women of different shades, and she sent me the link. And first of all, I don't know how I didn't know that this existed, but I'm also glad I didn't know this existed, and I kind of wish I still didn't know this existed. It's a group of black girls lined up in a line, and I don't understand why we do this to each other still. They kind of had them lined up, different shades, and for some reason, every time they got to the dark-skinned girl, there was always some type of negative comment, like, "Oh, I don't do darkies." Like that was an actual phrase used by a black boy to this girl. I don't do darkies, or you look like you be cool, but I don't do dark skinned girls. Like, and then this brother was just as dark as she was, like, which was really confusing to me. Like, and it's just like, why, with all of the toxicity that we face from the outside world, why are we still doing this to ourselves? And why do we think it's cute? Because they laughing in the video while they're doing it. And that's what really made me mad. Like, why do we think this is cute, it's acceptable, but yet we get mad if white people look and say something about us or say something like that? But we'll make whole videos with millions of views based on this. Raw.
We have internalized the European standard of beauty, and we have internalized, it's been pushed on us so much, actually. Even little kids, they did that experiment years ago where they asked the small children, hey, which baby doll is good and which baby doll is bad? And whenever there was a little black baby doll, they automatically said, oh, this baby doll is bad, just based off the color. These are young babies who shouldn't know anything about that. But also was pushed in rap music, in the videos. I want a yellow bone. Like, some rappers will, make it a point to love on everybody, but you do have those bars where it's just literally like, I don't want no blah blah blah. So it's kind of glamorized to put black women down sometimes as well. So I think it's internalization of all of that from all those different sources. And those young black men felt that they were in a position of power. So let me put you down while I'm in this position to be able to do it, because somebody once put me down over this exact same thing.
Janelle, I got a question for you. We're both on the smaller side for our respective genders, and I don't like the S word, so I'll say petite. Shut up, Anthony. It's funny, huh? You've been waiting. But no. So you're more of a petite frame, if you don't mind me saying. Do you think that the whole Megan the Stallion kind of craze of the thick and everything kind of has made it hard for skinny girls to find, excuse me, I said it anyway, petite girls to be appreciated. Because, you have the jokes like, little booties need love too and all that stuff. But I see, a lot of that going on right now. Like, oh, eat a sandwich, all those jokes. Like, was that ever an issue for you, or do you just say whatever is whatever?
So two things. First, I'm going to say, if y'all ever see my son doing some nasty, trifling mess like them young boys was doing, y'all better snatch him up so fast. That's all I'm going to say about that. But here's the thing about being petite in the Black community. I've actually been shut down, and I don't like having this conversation because petite women are not allowed to have a voice right now, which I completely understand because in my experience, yes, I've been put down because of my size, but not nearly as much as someone who would be considered larger than me. So whenever I've wanted to voice my opinion on that, I have been cussed out. You got small girl privilege, blah, blah, blah. But my entire life, up until this day, I am made fun of because of my size. When I was much younger, I was very small like my father. He's always been he's been smaller, but he's a built guy. But people call me anorexic. Even some of my family, like, they would get worried because I have a fast metabolism and I would eat a lot. I still eat a lot and I just don't gain much, but they would like have me drink Pediasure and like, what's wrong with you? Are you going in there to throw up? Like, you're not gaining any weight. I've had people tell me I look like a little boy. I've had men right on our own campus, the Mecca, look at me in the face and say, you have a beautiful face, but your body ain't nothing. And I cannot express how this has negatively impacted my life to this day. Being sexy is extremely hard for me. Feeling sexy is extremely hard for me. Sometimes even being close with my own husband, even though I know my husband loves me and thinks I'm beautiful and shows me and tells me all day, every day, there are still moments where I feel like I'm not good enough because I don't have a huge chest or butts or this or that. Like, I'm just very up and down. So yes, it's very, very, very hard to be small, especially during a time where we're saying that we're promoting like loving your body, but when I go into the store and I see that they've removed the extra smalls and it's only larger sizes because they're trying to promote diversity, it's like, I want to shop too. Like, I'm still sexy and beautiful, and the woman that is a size whatever is still sexy and beautiful. Yes, it's very hard. And the sad thing is, I've only experienced this from my own people. I've never experienced it from anyone else, only my own.
Let me read these comments. Hey, Cece, you're back. We didn't see you earlier. Happy to have you back.
That, Cece, read her comment for me.
Lil Wayne, she said, so Lil Wayne's lyric, black woman, beautiful black woman. I bet that bid looked better red. Literally made the disrespect worse. And Anthony also commented to that, like, yeah, Lil Wayne has said some troubling things in his lyric and have not made it any better. Erica says that she went through a phase of only being able to listen to female rappers. That's a conversation I have for another day. About
They do it too, though.
They do.
About skinny bitches, and I'm like, okay, dang, but I love y'all.
I mean, I had two things against me. I was short and skinny, so it was like hard to find pants that would like fit me. Like, stop laughing, Janelle. It was hard.
I just wasn't expecting you to say that.
No, but it's the truth. Like, so it's the opposite for men. Women, they started making like everything was petite for petite women back in the day, and for men, everything was for regular size. I shouldn't say regular because I am regular. I am a man. No, but like my they didn't make pants my size. Like, so I only had like 2 pairs of jeans that actually like fit like for the longest time. Like, so
gotta go to a tailor, bro.
Man, it was embarrassing. Like, we ain't had tailor money. What you talking about? Shoot, like
tailors are cheap, bro. They're low key.
Not when
cheap.
you one of 7 kids, but
okay, that's real.
So yeah, I can definitely understand. It was hard to find pants unique, but anyway, we'll see you on the second. I ain't gonna get into it with you now. Rob, what about you? Did you have any of those kind of like? Did you find any like the culture toxic around women? Like
I'll say the thing that I'm noticing, which Janelle, I just want to say you have every right to voice, things that you face, and I'm sorry that you have to sometimes feel like you can't, because just like they want to be included and loved on, that don't mean now exclude you and hate on you. We can love on each other, all together. I think the thing that's getting to be real toxic is the fake bodies, and no shade to anybody who wants to do that and go down that path, but I do think that it is altering the way that we view normal bodies, and it's kind of creating this like automatic like, oh my gosh, this doesn't look the way that of what I'm seeing constantly on social media. Something must be wrong. Oh, what should I do to fix it? And really, normal people,
Jasmine
regular
said,
people don't look like that.
She said full shade. But Cece said, I feel like a specific size is always being pushed. I have literally been a size 4, and now I'm a 14. That's hard to say, but I found more variety in clothes as a size 6 through 8. First of all, thanks for being vulnerable and saying you're a size 14, and I'm sure you look just as wonderful as when you were size 4.
She do look good, y'all. She do look good.
Big thighs save lives, okay?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, now I find like everything's big and tall now for guys. Like everything's in the big and tall variety, So, Anthony, man, laugh one more time. Laugh one more time, man.
But you know what's really wild? People like Monique. Monique's whole thing when she first came about was like,
skinny women are evil.
Skinny women. Monique is honestly one of the people that really made me hate my body. And I felt like I should always be nice to people who are larger than me because, skinny has always been the thing. But ain't it funny how she out here trying to lose all this weight, talking about people. I don't know if you guys saw that she like dogged Izzy on his Instagram and told him to go to the gym.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy.
How dare you? But how you gonna sit up here?
Because diabetes is real. That's what happened.
But people to go to the gym and you don't know him. You don't know what he deals with. You don't know that Izzy suffers from depression and things like that. You could have set him off. I
think, the health got to her and she realized, health was an issue. But someone I also have an issue with? This might get me canceled again, Anthony, so you might have to step up, be the host next week. Lizzo.
Yes.
I don't like Lizzo because
why you don't like Lizzo?
Because she started all this big is beautiful mess, and I think she's just fake. I really think she's super fake. She started all this big beautiful stuff, and I believe. Look, and I want for anybody who listens to this, your size does not determine how I feel about you, or what I think about you, or your beauty. It doesn't. But what I do not like is somebody who parades around, gets famous off of parading around like I'm big and beautiful. I'm gonna wear less clothing because I'm big and beautiful, and then get mad on a radio show and say, I wish people would stop seeing me as the big girl and all that. I'm just like, you literally built your brand on this. Don't sit here and talk down on everybody now because they seeing you as what you portrayed yourself as. Like you can't have it both ways. I just think she's really fake and just wants attention. Like everything she puts on Instagram is twerking. Anyway, go ahead.
I agree with the branding of oneself, loving yourself, and that's your brand. You push it. I'm a big girl. But I think that kind of becomes a box to where if she one day hit a wall and it's like, yo, you need to lose weight or you're going to die. I don't want people to be like, nah, you said you was big and beautiful. Like, let her, you know what I'm saying, do what she need to do to get healthy.
But she did. She started advertising for the flat tummy tees.
Yep.
And her followers lost it. And the next day she posted a picture of herself naked. And I just feel like, you're right. She's created a box. So if she does want to get healthy, she can. But it's like,
you created it.
All these celebrities bowing down to what people have to say to them. These peasants. We're poor.
We're poor.
So much because we still listen to your music. Like, you still gonna make money. It is wild how these insecure people are making all this money.
I'm poor. I'm short. I'm skinny. Dang, I'm just striking out today over here, man. Man, I'm striking out. But,
Marcus, you got money, bro. Don't let her call you poor.
Where are
Bro.
you?
what
You know you
money?
rich.
Where you at right now?
Exactly.
I'm where I am.
Elsewhere.
Erica says, I think Lizzie, I love Lizzie. I think she's more saying that she's not going to not love herself on the journey to a healthier state. But I haven't heard much other than the flat tummy tea about her moving towards a more healthier state, which is none of my business in the long run. But I'm just saying she's a classically trained flautist. I wish she would focus more on that sometimes, like, because I think that would be something that young girls could see, like her musicianship a little bit more than what she does on Instagram, which is basically like her booty in the camera at all times. And it's just like, and then the whole booty chaps that she wore to that basketball game, to me that was just like, come on, like, come on.
Can I jump in?
Go ahead.
Quick? All right. First, let me say, hey,
Your beard is trash.
Lizzo be playing that damn flute, bro. I watched her Tiny Desk. She be playing that thing.
She do.
Like, she's good.
So can we get more?
Like that made me kind of respect her music a little more when I heard her playing that song. But what I was gonna say was, I didn't know she was trying to be healthy. I really don't follow Lizzo like that. Let me ask y'all though. Do you think that we have a lower tolerance? Because I had to think about this to myself. Like, damn, I'm tired of seeing Lizzo's ass everywhere.
That's what.
But do y'all think we have a lower tolerance of seeing Lizzo naked because she's like not conventionally attractive? Like, do we have the same issues with like Rihanna or like more like kind of conventionally attractive women being naked?
What do you mean by
know what I'm saying?
conventionally attractive?
To answer your question, I only have had a problem with the basketball thing because I just felt like that is not the time or place. If you want to perform dressed like that, if you want to be on your Instagram dressed like that, those are kind of places where people are going to see you. So however it is you choose to present yourself, okay, cool. But when you step out into just the world where it's like, it ain't her responsibility, but like little kids was there. I have never seen I don't want to say that. I've never seen the women that you refer to as conventionally attractive, because I do think Lizzo's pretty, but I've never seen them show up to a basketball game with their behind literally out. So it was just the place there. But if you want to wear a gown, that's got a big slit like J-Lo did, or whatever, I'm fine with that.
Well, let's give Anthony a chance then. Anthony, what is conventionally attractive? Like, what do you see that as?
I mean, not to sound cheesy, but I mean, it's going to be different for every person. But I do feel like, okay, like we could say somebody like Rihanna is conventionally attractive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like Erica just said, yeah, I'm not telling Reed to stop posting. So I feel like,
a certain person.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a certain person commented, "We will take Rihanna's cheeks any day."
I will leave my husband for Rihanna.
I don't really think Rihanna is that cute, but I know she's like a standard. She
Anthony
a standard
again
of
saying wild
on a
stuff
societal level.
every time. Anthony will not be back next week.
Bro, let me just say
Anthony won't be back next week.
Let me say something. Look. We went to Howard University, where like literally everyone that was there is attractive, well-dressed, smart. I'm talking about fine, like everywhere. So it's like I always think like, okay, like if Rihanna was at Howard, would I try to talk to her? I don't know. Like, I don't think she would really be standing out like amongst all the other women that were there for real. To me, she's not like drop dead gorgeous like everybody be saying.
Michael
I'm not trying
Newby
to take
just
anything away
showed
from her. I'm just saying.
Michael Newby just showed up and said, "Get this man off the show."
My
Crazy
eyes.
as hell.
Bro, look, man, I can only be me, bro.
Oh, Erica, that is a good comment. She said the new hot girl, Chloe. I was gonna ask Anthony that too, because she's like only 22, and we met her when she was like maybe like 4. Was she 14 when Beyonce brought them girls out? Do you find it weird when dudes our age are looking at her like she hot? Like, to me, it feels weird because it's like I still see her as a kid. Like, I don't know.
I don't see her as a kid, but I can't be less than over Chloe because I just feel like, personally for myself, I feel like 22 and 29 is real different.
Yeah.
It's different parts of your life. You know what I'm saying? But I do like, if I ever had a chance to work with her, yeah, like she makes a lot of their beats and like writes a lot of their songs. Like, she is cold.
CC says everyone is showing ass and skin. I loathe it. You can go on you can go on Black woman support pages, and it's girls in bikinis everywhere with heart eyes underneath, which is good to an extent, but we are so much more as women, and I think that too, and that's why half your age plus 7. I think that I do. I think that that's what my problem is with Lizzo. Like when she plays the flute and she be playing, I get excited because I'm like, wow, this girl is really showing something positive, showing that playing an instrument, like, which is like kind of decreasing in schools. Like band programs are hurting and everything. If she would use her platform and do that more often, can you imagine how many young girls of color would be in band and be doing things like she's doing? But no, you want to be shaking your cheeks like on Instagram all the time, and it's like every post.
I'm sorry, we have to shout out John, y'all.
Oh, Professor Neil.
Jonathan Clyde Neal accepted a position with Tennessee State University where he will be a professor.
Hey, brother, congratulations, man.
Congratulations, man. Brassville doing their thing. He's a professor now. Like I don't know anybody but dope people. Like, and it's amazing. Like, but John, we were just talking about Lizzo and how we wish she would focus more on her musicianship than on shaking her booty on Instagram all day.
Can I comment on that?
Go ahead.
So here's my thing. Number one, when it comes to social media, I think you can do whatever you want. If you want me naked on your social media all the time, that's fine. I'll just unfollow you or mute you for a little bit. You can do what you want. But I think the difference between Lizzo and Rihanna, and this is just for me, because I think they're both beautiful women. I think that Lizzo makes it a point to let you know that I'm butt naked. Like, I want to be sure that y'all know I'm butt naked. Rihanna more so does it for her brand, to like as a commercial. Kind of like not so like I'm overwhelming you with, I guess I don't know if I'm making sense. Not necessarily overwhelming, but like it's not so forced. And that might be because Rihanna feels more secure in her body than Lizzo does. But I just feel like when I see Lizzo, it's more like, okay, on TikTok, you're just doing all these dances literally naked. For what? But when I see Rihanna, she's promoting Savage Fenty, or she's promoting her makeup, or she's promoting a brand. So that's where I see the difference.
I don't care where I read doing it, but she can keep doing it. Oh, keep going. But I don't know. I just maybe Anthony's right. Maybe we do see her because she is a heavier woman that we have a lack of a tolerance for her. Erica says, I think when it comes down to Black women expressing their sexuality and feelings, and feeling hot, I'm here for it because at a young age, Black women are confined to the ideas and criticized by the Black church and Eurocentric standards of beauty. And also
true. Representation, because if I'm a little heavyset girl, Lizzo is all I'm gonna see that's pushing that look.
Yeah. I agree. Maybe we're a little too hard on Lizzo. I might take it back. I still don't. I don't like necessarily dislike her. I just wish she would use more of her God-given talent and put more of that out there. Maybe, but it's not my page. Hey, it's her page to do whatever she wants.
Part of her talent is bouncing that ass. I mean, that's what she think. You know what I'm saying? So shit.
Making her a lot of money.
And that's what Megan Thee Stallion think too, and that's what Cardi think too. So
Well, Megan's is real though. Cardi's. I mean, you were just talking about that. No, I'm talking about Cardi's.
Is that what y'all think when y'all sit there and watch everything shake?
I do.
Oh, let me say this.
Megan is actually real.
That's what I said. Megan is real.
Y'all know I got hot takes. I'm really not into like
twerking,
like Instagram model twerking stuff. Like for my algorithm on Instagram, I keep it like animals, sports, and like funny stuff. Cause I just feel like if you get caught up in like a thirst trap, now next thing you know, you going through the whole shorty's page. Her friend, you like, oh, who is that? And you are her friend. next thing you know, you've been looking at booty butts for like 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Booty butts.
So I just you know what I'm saying? I just delete those distractions by trying to just keep them. You know what I'm saying?
So Anthony, twerking doesn't do it for you. Twerking's not working for Anthony.
I'm not into the twerking. I feel like if I go to your page and all you have is twerking videos, that's at this point in my life, that's kind of a turn off because it's like you just kind of look like all you do is just work, which is, I mean, if
So
that's
do you
what you're
think there's
into,
an
that's
age we're too
cool.
old?
But
You think there's you too old to be twerking?
I don't think it's just too old to be twerking. But if that's all you do, that's all you have to offer is just your sexual prowess. Is just like it's not really that attractive to me. For me, I'm not telling you whether you're right or wrong. I'm just saying I'm not looking for a shorty that just all she do is I don't even know what her face look like. She just bouncing that ass the whole time.
Michael says
that was cool. That was cool in like 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
You know.
Michael says some folks' IG pages look like a Pornhub. At the end of the day.
Yeah.
What page is you talking about, Michael?
Oh Lord.
What page is you talking about? Shout him out.
Trying to get Mike in trouble, man.
Shut his laptop quick. No, I agree. Like, it's like twerking really doesn't like. It's cool if you can, but like if you ain't got no personality behind that twerk, it's really nothing for us to talk about, unless you're Rihanna. At the end of the day, Michael said, "I'm saved." Shut up. Shut up. But you made that Monstars comment 2 weeks ago. But anyway, but you saved.
Oh Lord.
Ra, do you think that maybe in the black culture, for black women, twerking is like too prevalent?
No. I think there's so many cultures. I was thinking about this the other day. There's so many cultures that do similar dances that are centered around the movement of the hips and buttocks. And one that came to mind was like Hawaiian culture, how they do the little, little thing. And I just kind of was sitting there thinking about how dignified everybody looks at them, like, oh wow, it's their culture, and that doesn't upset me, but it does upset me that if a young group of black girls were twerking, it would be viewed just completely different. And it goes back to somebody mentioned it in the comments about we just aren't allowed to do things. We're constantly policed and the rules are constantly shoved down our throats where we can't even just enjoy, because if you see me twerking, now you have this list of assumptions about me. And I definitely get what everybody's saying about this can't be all you have going. But what is the problem?
Cece says, don't get me wrong. I love booties, women, and twerking, all of that. But I don't want to see it all the time. Megan gives a certain appeal because she's in school, she raps, she's vulnerable, and she can shake that thing. I agree. I agree.
We love a full package.
She's different, but I will say this about, never mind. I'm not going to say that for y'all cancel.
Oh, Lord.
All of Megan's songs are the same to me. But other than that, I think.
Hey, Megan can rap though.
She can, but it just like all
she got the bars.
She got bars.
You gotta listen to her albums and stuff. Don't just listen to the stuff that's mainstream.
Yeah, you're right.
She sounds like Bun B. Like if you really listen to her rap, she sounds like a woman Bun B. Yeah.
That's a pretty good.
It is. That was a good one.
Michael Newby says, I think Hawaiian music dance is one thing, but throwing that as in a circle to Uncle Luke is a whole nother thing.
Please tell me what is the difference.
You just respect one culture
Anti-blackness.
more.
Right, because they're literally doing it probably better than we can do it. So I'm not understanding. Is it because normally they're in like their cultural clothing and attire? Like I'm not understanding how I see Hawaiian women and a lot of women from African cultures. They be doing stuff. I'm just like, teach me your ways, but we can't do it. I'm not understanding.
I mean, if you go to Africa and you see their actual ritual dances, you will see a lot of what we do that is called twerking in it.
We've internalized a lot of stuff that we shouldn't have, I think.
We were kids. Like I think about when I was younger, it was always told to the girls, like, you better not be wearing that. You better not be dressing like that. You got these men over here. First of all, your man is nasty. Let's be clear. Y'all trying to, protect us from they're nasty and y'all need to handle them. But at the same time, like, what is wrong with a young girl loving her body? Should I be 5 years old and twerking? Probably not. But I'm like 14, 15, 16,
let grandma
stuff
twerk.
like, let me be lit.
Let grandma Let grandma twerk while she doing them greens. Let her do what she gotta do. Don't
If I
take
was
it.
more confident in my body, a lot of things would have happened to me when I was younger.
She need to
If
twerk.
I had more confidence in my body.
Yeah.
Come on, scrub the ground and throw that thing in a circle, sis.
So why?
Okay.
First of all, when she said scrub the ground, I was like, what is she talking about? But I was like, you know what? I don't want to be that person. But like, now I understand. Thank you. Thank you, CC. I learned a new term today. Thank you very much.
About to scrub the ground. No, Granny need to twerk while she putting them neck bones and like whatever she need to do. Let grandma go ahead. Because we're gonna have some different grandparents. We're gonna be some real different grandparents. I think we have not
Yeah.
thought about how different we about to be. Cookout's gonna be wild. When we get older.
That's funny.
But yeah.
That's
So I think we had a pretty good show. Pretty good fun tonight. I hope everybody hold on. Unique said, nah, it look a little different when you here taking over for the 99 and the 2000. Yeah. Well, we're gonna be 60 getting out there.
To this day.
Yep. CC
backs
says
that
I'm here
thing
for
up.
you, Anthony.
Backs it up.
CC says that she's here for you, Anthony. I'm glad someone
I
is after his
appreciate it.
wild comments on the show. He said definitely looks different. Backs that thing up. Yeah, so thank you all for coming tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed our 10th episode. It's been a pleasure and an honor to be able to go 10 weeks and have steady listeners. Like, y'all don't know how important that is. Share it with your friends. Like, get your friends involved. Share the link. Send them to the YouTube. If you're not subscribed yet, please go to YouTube and subscribe to Marcus in the Man Cave. And like I said, I'm going to start ending on positive notes since we're talking about toxicity. If you have a good friend in your life, make sure you let them know what they mean to you. Take some time out tomorrow just to be, or tonight before y'all go to bed. I know it's what, well, I don't know what time it is on the East Coast right now, but 10 o'clock before they lay their heads to sleep, because you never know. Tomorrow's not promised, but you do have today. You do have right now. So go ahead, tell them what they mean to you. Give them their flowers while they can smell them, because you never know what life can bring. So love somebody, and more importantly, love yourself. And we out. Peace.